I don't find these octagon shaped picture frames often at the thrift store, but when I do, I definitely pick them up, and I was excited to be able to find 2 sets of these. So we're going to turn them into some amazing looking vintage prints that I always see when I go to the antique stores and the boutiques. So these are very nicely framed. I like when they have just the little screws in the back because it's so much easier to take them off. So I'm just going to unscrew these frames and take the backs off. Now you could add fabric or paper to the background, but there was already a nice thick background, so I just decided to paint it. I wanted to go for a drop cloth look, so I'm using Fusion's paint in the color Chateau. I find it is so close to the drop cloth color. Next, I want to paint the frames. I'm going to be using Fusion in the color Ash. It is a beautiful kind of off black vintage color, and I'm going to be adding some fresco. Now I don't want to add texture to this piece, but when you add just a little bit of fresco, 2 parts paint to 1 part fresco texturing powder, it gives your Fusion paint a matte, flat chalk finish because the Fusion all-in-one paint has a little bit of a satin sheen to it. So I love that I can take my favorite Fusion colors and get that flat, chalky finish that I love by just adding a little bit of this fresco powder to it. Here it is all dry, and you can see it has that nice flat finish, and you still have the bonus of the built-in sealer that comes with your Fusion paint, so we do not have to seal this piece. I do want to distress just the edges to bring out all those details and bring out a little bit of that gold color. I think it's just going to pair so perfectly with this ash color and make this frame look so expensive. And then I cannot wait for y'all to see the final product. These came out so good and look so expensive. Now that all the painting is done, we are ready to add some images. I'm going to be using IOD's Franz transfer. Y'all know how I love botanicals, and I cannot believe that I have not used this transfer before. I went through the book and picked out some images that I thought would go good together, and as you can see, this transfer is a little bit too big for this particular artwork, so I'm just going to cut it down. Like all of your transfers, you can cut them up and use the different parts and pieces to fit your particular project. So I'm going to transfer on all the leaves, and then I'm going to add on the root. I'm trying to get it to be about the same size and shape as the botanical next to it. That way they look like a matching pair. So if you have a transfer that you really want to use, but maybe it's a little bit too big, don't be afraid to cut it up and just use pieces of it and make it work for your particular project. And look at that. You cannot even tell that I cut this up. If you have never used an IOD transfer before, they are really so easy and so fun. I like to call them adult stickers. I love them, and I think once you try them one time, you will be addicted to them. And of course, you can find all the products that I'm using in today's video on my website, juliesdesignsandscience.com. Almost forgot to show y'all this part. I love when botanical prints have a name or number or letter next to it. So I just went in with a pencil and wrote little letters next to each botanical, and I think that little extra detail just really made a big difference.